Okay, hit us up.
Intro.
Questions?
What up, Kid One? It says, still waiting for the Snow Trooper helmets to be back in stock, question mark.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us this time, and we've got a Q&A.
Joining us today is Mr. Rob McCormick,
Yeah,
the better looking half of RS.
thank you. So when is the Snow Trooper helmet going to be back in stock?
Yeah.
The fully built one, or the kit that we were talking about doing?
Well,
Interesting.
you can't have something that's never been released be back in stock.
We have a brand new website
Again,
hitting the streets in a couple of weeks, probably. I've not got the exact date, but we're going to update on this as we move. The website is not doing what we wanted it to do. It's creating a lot of problems. It's not including everything when people are trying to order, so that's why a lot of things have been out of stock while the new site is being developed. Plus, we're busy and we were trying to cut back on certain things to allow us to do other things. So there's been a lot of change.
okay.
It's been a period of transition, right, Paul?
Mm-hmm.
But the new website is imminent, and then a small number of certain things will be put up on the site. We'll iron out all the kinks, and we don't want to swamp ourselves because we're in a good state at the moment. The team's doing a lot of work on Bausch and another project that has not been announced yet, but we're trying to get some legwork done. If you can hear people talking, I apologise for that, but there are people in the in the upstairs area.
Mm-hmm.
We are obviously in the dungeon.
Yeah.
So yes, it's going to be coming in the next few weeks, certainly before the end of this very month of August.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Very
I
informative.
can't remember what this was actually in response to, in particular, but Jeff Diamond commented, great podcast, good to see Paul is the voice of sanity at RS Prop Masters.
That must be Paul Whitrow, surely.
No. This is from a while ago.
Oh, who was it, sorry?
Jeff Diamond
Diamond.
said that, yeah, so he seems to think you're the voice of reason.
Well,
Obviously not a question, just thought you'd appreciate me
Oh,
bringing
thank
it
you
up.
for that. Yeah, thank you, Jeff. I will send monies to you in the post very soon.
Move on.
Anyway,
Appreciate it.
so someone's put, what about the General Veers helmet? And then someone's followed that up straight away by saying, been waiting for this forever. They had the plaques done forever ago.
Yeah, we did have the
Well,
plaques done.
yeah.
Not only did we have the plaques done forever ago,
Yeah.
we had the plaques redone
Yeah.
forever ago.
Yes.
So
yes.
forever ago
Yeah.
is when we got the original plaques done.
Yeah. This was, the fire interfered with that, but
Yeah,
then
thanks for the reminder
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the kick up the backside on that one.
and there has been a queue. It's not a massive. We don't have a massive staff of people, do we? So
Could that be the project that we've already started working on?
I
It's
wouldn't
not,
know.
by the way. It's not. It's not.
It is in the pipeline, but we can only do one project at a time, really.
Yes. The Veers, we've got the 3D scanner now, and that's one of the things that we wanted to obtain, because that's going to help us in the creation, in the 3D modelling of the goggles.
Yes, yeah, they are quite difficult to get hold of.
Well, you can either buy goggles that are incorrect,
Yeah.
or you can do something different.
Excellent.
So this is from Kirk Sanders 883. This is about the last Q&A. But great Q&A to catch up on. Start that again, Clarky. Great Q&A to catch up. Someone new here. Would love the opportunity to purchase a HDPE, polypropylene, stunt. Among others, my hiatus from the hobby was not well timed, leaving right before RS came onto the scene. So this is a guy who he's commented on a lot of stuff. He got out of collecting around 10, 12 years ago because he kept buying stuff that was basically shit. I'm
Yeah.
paraphrasing what he originally said in one of his old messages, but he's now come back to it and seeing he basically wants anything that RS has done over the last 10 years. And a polypropylene helmet being one of those things.
Thanks for reaching out to us. I think we should probably reach out to him directly and talk to him, see where he's at, see where we're at. I don't think we're about to do another run of that helmet in the foreseeable future, but let's see. We've always got bits and pieces knocking about, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to give him an email address?
Have you not got his email address?
These are just YouTube comments.
Okay. Well, hopefully he's watching and he can drop us an email to media@irispodmasters.com.
You do realise there'll be an influx of people. Now
Everyone's going to be
asking
claiming to be that fella now.
for- So you better find some more plastic. Forced your hand there.
So this is it. This is an interesting one, and this has come up in the past, but we've never. I've approached this a little bit differently. I've actually ransacked the comments with questions as opposed to asking for questions.
Okay.
So we've never addressed something like this before, but this is two parts because someone's asked something and someone's asked something else. So Marcus Talisman has said, have you ever thought about expanding your business with so much in the pipeline and demand for your work? And then Kenichi R15 said, yes, you need to expand. We're on production line for your daily routine bread and butter products. We're on production line for special projects.
It's affordability, isn't it? Would that throw the price even higher for everything else because it's a small staff? He'd have to pay more employees, wouldn't he, to do such things?
There's a fine balance. It's a house of cards, isn't it? It's a house of cards, and don't expand too big for everything to fall down. So it's a difficult one. We don't want to be that big that we sink ourselves.
Yes, I fully understand. Yeah.
That might be the best explanation for it.
From a point of view, again, somebody doesn't make stuff. I just watch. I've always got the sense as well that you don't want it to be saturated. You want it to be done well and each project to be given the attention it deserves as opposed to...
and you may know I'm a bit of a control freak.
Paul, have you,
This is news to me. Motherfucker.
So I don't... I don't like to be spread too thin. I like to do what we do and do it well.
Yes, true.
Rather than compromise. And nobody ever thinks of this as a business. We're just lucky enough that we've got enough supporters that allow us to keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
it's interesting as well, again, from a point of view that there's very few things that I haven't either, as a customer prior to being here regularly, I haven't seen and gone, I want that, or something that I haven't grown to love. Like the wiring was never something that was like an instant love for me, but it is like probably prior to my collection now. The Bausch, I had no interest in it when we announced that helmet and being part of that like several months run up to it, where you've got some people and they kind of get the sense from these guys that they're waiting for certain things. Like they might not be interested in these other projects that are coming. So for them, the fact that it's not, you know, 6 production lines running must be really, really frustrating. Whereas for someone who just likes the growth of the products, you kind of go, I want this one for my collection as well, and I want this one for my collection. But this is what we talked about last week, wasn't it? With the have we put that podcast out? German Dan podcast. We talked about how there's so many different types of collectors in the room at the time. There was Rob, Si, German Dan, and me, and we all have a different approach to how we buy stuff, how we curate it, what we keep and what we don't. And it's obviously the same when these guys are waiting for the V's or the AT-AT and things like that. Don't even know if that makes sense. Anyway,
Yeah, it did.
Paula SLYX says, why doesn't Rob ever use a mask when sanding, as all that dust is quite dangerous to breathe in?
Don't be concerned about him, Paula. Be concerned about me. He's a nobody. You want me to be okay, not him. Next. Nah, go on.
Can you actually wear a mask with that big beard?
It ruins his beard though.
I tend to wear a bandana. Yeah. So I'll just drape something over my face.
Interesting.
If I have to wear a mask, I'll put it on.
Yeah,
though.
probably should be wearing masks. But
Yeah.
I just get in the moment, laser focused on what I'm doing, and you just get on with the next bit.
I think you could do with one of them little desktop extractors, just so it's sucking something away from you. Because if you're on a mission, you forget to put a mask on as well.
Yeah.
Or iPro. So if you've got an extractor that's right in front of it, it could suck most of it away at least. I don't mean a tube going right around the place, but some sort of desktop extractor. I want you to be okay myself.
As a point of reference as well, I'm going to address the camera now, not these two idiots. we had someone in today for a new website conversation, and Chris and I, the web guy, were talking outside afterwards, and Chris was like, I can't believe how Rob works. He's literally sat there and had a full conversation about the website and walked in there and picked up some tools and started making something. And that's the way Rob's yes or no head works. He's doing this, he's doing that. There's no in between to prep for it.
Yeah.
What up, kid? Again, this might be from a different video. Since you guys read the comments under every video, which we do, I just don't reply to them all. Still waiting on the re-release of the Snowtrooper helmet. Now, I'm bringing this one up again. I know we've had the Snowtrooper question, but it's about reading the comments, and not everything can be answered straight away, can it? Rob's now ignoring me.
No. Yes. No.
Well, this comes back to when projects aren't in the
Oh, you mean when
forefront.
the comments drop?
Yeah, it's like we read them, but they're not. We can't always go back. I mean, I've made probably more effort in the last few weeks to go through YouTube, especially, and acknowledge most of them. But if I don't, it's more that there's no answer for it right now.
Yeah, because you'll message me and then I'll read my message and not answer you.
But like with regards to the Snowtrooper one, we've had it again.
YouTube viewing.
We've had the Snowtrooper one already in this quick Q&A, but there's been no answer for that. So it's always...
Well, it has, but we just didn't know when the website was coming.
Yeah.
So we could have just said it'll be in sometime in the future. We weren't 100% sure, but now we know where we're at, and there's other issues to deal with that kind of come before, and eventually we get to it.
Yeah.
That's just the way I work.
We do fully appreciate your comments, though. You know, keep them coming.
Paul does, especially when they relate to him.
Yes,
We
yes,
want-
especially
we want
me.
comments.
Yeah.
We did ask as well last time, and everyone's ignored me. I asked, could any of you get a message from your mum to Paul, but no one sent me any.
Oh, yes,
My
because you
mum
said
did message him.
you did say message him direct at some point in the same conversation.
Oh, did I?
So I have loads, mate.
Drowning in messages.
yeah.
So next one is from this user XH4, so I think this is trying to be anonymous. And then there's a thread which is over £2,000 split helmet into 2 tiers and then charge extra. This should be included in the original price to do with Tramp's upgrade. I also don't like the idea of the huge battery pack and cord hanging out the helmet. The cloth ears one never had this, and I don't think the original did either. Is there some way to contain it within the helmet? And then another one, someone said, this should be included in the price already. Come on.
Well, this is still being worked on. It's not a big cord. It is a USB connector. The length of the cord is your own choice.
And also that was just Tramp's.
So I think that
Battery
makes perfect sense. The brief that we had when we set out on this was to create the electronics, much like those electronics that exist on the market. Well, not like them, but comparable to the electronics that exist on the market. We commissioned Paul to do his thing, made the prototype, which is exactly what we wanted. So you can put a short lead on there, you plug a USB in, short lead, battery inside the helmet, longer lead, battery pack outside the helmet, longer still, you can go straight into a plug in the mains. So it's got all the options. We're just covering all the bases for everybody's requirements. And he made something that we wanted, and then he made something over and above that, which has not been budgeted for. And if we're going to include it with every helmet, there might be 95% of the people don't want it. They only want the lights, and they may not even turn the lights on. So it could potentially be an awful lot of expense for something that not many people want. We don't know who wants it.
Yeah.
The fact is, he turned up with it. We thought it was pretty cool. Put it in the video, and a handful of people may say, oh, I'd quite like that. In which case, that's probably something to discuss with Paul, or for them to discuss with Paul. We'll install it. We don't know. It's open. At the moment, our plans are the electronics are included, but they're not including all the sounds, because that wasn't in the original helmet. That's not what the brief was. That's not what our design was. It's not what we wanted to make. But the fact that it does all that we thought was pretty cool. We thought we'd show it off. Some people may want that. Don't know. Still early stages yet. Still early stages. This was just something that we wanted to show, and showcase Paul. It was as much to do with Paul. This is what he does. This is what he's all about, and this is the guy who's going to be making the electronics for the helmet to produce the light effect, which is what we wanted.
Yeah.
This discussion is not over, and it's going to develop over the next few weeks as we get a more of a feel for what's going on with that.
These are onto the Instagram questions from the last post I put out. Those ones are the ones I harvested from under the videos of the last week or 2 weeks, whatever it is. Will you ever do a Luke X-Wing helmet again? What one's been done before?
Yeah, Red 5.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think we've done
ASB.
Did we do a run of them? Small run? I can't quite remember.
We might have done some commissions of it. If
We
you know
will.
what
We will do, but
Yeah.
we when that will be, don't know. Paint department is Becca's certainly booked up on the Bausch project, and Simon is still finishing off the hyperdrive helmet. So at some point, when we have capacity in paint department, we could do them.
Mary Hipples, who we've definitely had some messages off in the past, is asking, what would you do to shins that need to close up a little more? Mine are a tad too open. Boil or heat? Question mark. I don't know much, but I'd say don't boil or heat them.
Get them to close up more. Shins.
Shins.
There's a TK hit shins.
Yeah.
Well, it's just the bar hooks that hold them in. Bar hook and elastic.
At the
So,
moment.
yeah. So,
Depends exactly what the problem is.
yeah.
Probably Velcro would be
Yeah, some little tabs of Velcro. That should,
something to look at. I just leave mine kind of open. I don't even
Yeah.
close the bra hooks.
true. I've not closed mine for ages.
I just stick them on and
Yeah. And a few little tabs of Velcro. I'll sort it. Dead easy to find on eBay.
When will the busts be available again?
oh, that's a good question, because could be sooner rather than later. Yeah, watch this space. I think we are going to make a few of them available. We've got all the other ones that we needed to complete out of the way, and we've got a lot of the programming of the team sorted out, the new approach, and in between doing some of the Bausch stuff that we're doing, we're going to start sliding in a few commissions, and a few busts could be part of that commission. So yeah, I think there's a handful of them going to go up sooner rather than later.
Nice.
I missed the original order call. Is another Bausch helmet run thinkable?
I don't think so.
I'm going to ask this one, and I think you can sum up all the commissions in one. When is the Stormtrooper A&H Pro built suit available again? Looking forward to getting one.
New website.
Yep.
It's all about the new website, because it will allow for all the accessories and everything to process properly without us having problems. Don't like problems. And the payment plan will be back as well.
Excellent.
And that's been the problem with the website. The payment plan has been clashing with the accessories, and none of it's been working. And I think some of it was working, but if you were in France, I don't know if this was Europe as well, if you were in France, it wasn't working properly. Now, not because you were in France, but something on the website and France was causing another problem. Anyway, doesn't matter, because it's all going to be happening on the new website, which is coming very soon now. Do stay tuned for updates on that. I've seen a sneak peek of the new website, and I'm very happy with the look of it. Looks very similar, but a little bit better. And obviously the functionality has been ironed out, and it is well, I can't wait for it to land.
It's technology, isn't it?
Yeah.
God.
Why are there no shirts in your shop anymore?
Well, we had issues with the merch people, didn't we?
We did.
And we've been looking for some other merch people, but I think we just need to take control of that ourselves.
So I think we're going to be looking at, again, limited runs where we get a batch of something made.
Yeah.
That'll be available until that batch is gone,
Yeah,
and then we look at something else past that.
I like it.
Okay. I know the answer to this one, so I'm going to ask it and answer it. Do you sell blaster replicas by themselves, or does it have to be with armor? Has to be with armor.
Has to be with armor, yes.
We have had this before.
Although we could drop something in there, couldn't we?
No.
We are developing kits for the blasters.
Oh.
I mean, the reason why we don't sell the blasters separately is primarily shipping issues, which is ironic because we're having shipping issues now with the full commissions. But it used to be a lot easier if you were sending a costume, that was part of the costume. It was kind of obvious that it was part of the costume, whereas just sending a blaster
Yeah.
is a replica gun in the mail. It doesn't look as good. However, the kits could be our little workaround.
Yeah.
Essentially.
It's very silly though, because the customs will rip it out of the box and realise, they'll X-ray it, realise that the triggers don't even move or anything, and they still send it back to us. It makes me think that there's a job's worth at the British Customs, and
I don't think it's
the
customs.
hierarchy needs to talk to him.
It's not the customs, it's the individual companies. It's the individual companies that are knocking them back.
Yeah, some jobs
We'll
worth.
ship them.
Yeah.
We'll ship them DHL. Ship them FedEx. So it's the internal. The companies themselves have to assess whether they present it to customs.
Well, surely that.
Well, I think they do the customs job for them
Yeah, a job's worth then.
at FedEx.
Yeah, at FedEx. You idiot.
There's FedEx pissing in the next RS parcel that they get hold of.
Well, they might as well. The state the blasters have come back in. We've had to remake every one of them because it's just they'll throw it back in the box with no wrapping on it. They won't even attempt to wrap it, and then they obviously kick the boxes up and down the van. Then they'll kick the box in air, and we'll open it to check, and there'll be a smashed up blaster in there. So, not happy with them.
Don't blame you. Can you tell us something about the Return of the Jedi Vader from RS?
Or the helmet.
Yeah.
It's unavailable.
Was it ever officially launched? Was this pre the channel kind of thing?
Well, we've made a few from commission where people have just got in touch. It's not the sort of thing we're going to put on the website. A lot of work in it. If we've got the time, then we can think about it. But it's created from the 20th Century Fox, which is a production made tour helmet. That's it. Nice piece.
Last question, and I know we've touched on it before, but it's worth reiterating.
Do I get a cup of tea after this?
Yes.
You've got to ask the man. Is it possible to make a Scout Trooper from PVC instead of ABS?
No. We've had this before.
I've literally started by saying we've had this before, but it's worth reiterating. It's been asked again.
Oh, right. Interesting.
We make armors from the.
We could make the armour from it.
Yeah, but the helmet. How do you go? It's two parts to helmet, so
Yeah,
it needs sanding and painting.
I suppose you could make it from PVC.
Yeah.
And then the helmet would have to be ABS. That can never be PVC. And then painted
To
in
a
the
high
same
gloss, yeah.
white gloss as.
There's nobody. I mean, there's obviously a lot of armour makers out there of all different capabilities and calibers and qualities. Does nobody make it a Scout out of PVC?
No, there's some.
I don't think many people make anything out of PVC.
Yeah, there's some people that use acrylic capped, but the problem is that's thicker, isn't it? And you don't get as much.
I guess they want the only advantage of having the Scout in PVC would be the bright white and the gloss. But the problem with PVC is we don't make PVC Sandtroopers because it doesn't want to weather. So you would only do it if it was going to stay clean, and we're dirty, aren't we? And we don't like the clean look.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
we just stick to the ABS. But I don't know. Would it? I don't. You wouldn't be able to weather it. And for me, the Scout needs to be weathered.
I suppose this chap's asking about it just because he probably doesn't want it weathered. He wants it to look like under the
Shiny.
yeah,
like
yeah,
Death Star.
under the movie lights. It looked a lot shinier than they were.
I
Then
don't know. Shall we try and do a bust?
yeah, why not?
PVC bust. See what it looks like.
Yeah,
That's not happening anytime soon for anyone who's done
I'm going to
it.
go and do it right now.
No, you're not, you lying
I'm going to
bastard.
do it right now.
he's got the former on, so he might as well.
And I am set up for PVC today.
I'll do him a nice cup of tea as well.
Oh
Nice cup of tea. Let's get Becca on a cake.
She's literally well
I
eating
don't-
that.
Do you want to rephrase that?
Yes,
at all?
sorry.
Let's get Becca on a cake.
It happens to be.
Do you mean in a cake?
yeah. It happens to be young Becca's birthday today, so
Not today because it was a few weeks
Yeah,
ago. We
yeah,
filmed this in
yeah.
advance of this.
I bought a half slab of lemon cake and put a candle in it, and well, I'm going to do a brew and get her to give me 2 pieces of that cake back.
That's it.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, I did lead with the last question being the last question.
And that's it.
That's it.
Well, I hope that helped some of you guys. If you've got any questions for us, then keep the comments coming. They do get read, and we do take notice of them. If we don't reply straight away, we will reply eventually. But yeah, I think that's it for this time. Thanks for watching. I've been Rob. This has been Paul.
Yeah, goodbye from me.
And as always, I'll see you in the next one.